ready to run through a wall.
We're going to run some clock. Or maybe
This team is destined. That was by far one of the most embarrassing games I've ever watched. That was a flat out embarrassing, pathetic, undisciplined on all sorts of different levels. That was disgusting. It was ugly. You blew a 21-0 lead. You were up 21-0. 21-0. You gave up 21 unanswered points. You lost 24-21. I mean, that was one of the most gutless, pathetic losses. I mean, that's disgusting. It goes deep on so many different levels, man. This was the Eagles' opportunity to say, hey, we see all this shit you're talking, all the sports talk guys out there. We see all the things you're saying about us. We saw the Derek Gunn reports. We saw what WIP saying. We saw what Broad Street Sports is saying. We saw all of it. And we're going to say F you to your face. This was their opportunity to shove it right back in our face. And I thought for the first quarter, that's what they were doing. I thought for the first quarter of that game, I thought they were going to put up 100 on the Cowboys. The Cowboys suck, man. I mean, come on. You watch that Dallas team. They're fumbling every time they get the ball. Dak's overthrowing guys. CeeDee Lamb can't catch passes. Pickens can't catch any passes. And you're telling me that Dallas team out there is supposed to beat the Eagles, who have Super Bowl aspirations, who I'm told there's no problems offensively. And everything's wonderful offensively. Well, I hope for all the people that are optimistic and Mr. Positive and the happy people out there, you take one good look at this team, at this game. Maybe it's not registering with you yet. Maybe you have no idea, but what you just watched. You need some time to try and understand what you just watched. Fine, no problem. But when you rewatch this game and you watch the highlights, you need to understand and look out for the fact that this offense has problems. And for weeks, this entire season, they have had problems. And I don't see a road where this gets fixed unless Kevin Patullo's fired. I don't see a road where this is fixed until Saquon Barkley shows up. And I know this goes way deeper than Saquon Barkley, and Saquon's not the one to be attacked, right? You're not his problem. But he's been bad, man. He's been horrible. You want to talk about the rest of the team? Let's not forget, man, he's been piss poor. We haven't been able to run the football all year outside of that Giants game. Outside of that Giants game, we've had absolutely zero run game. I don't know what I'm lost. I'm so lost. I'm so lost. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Call into the show, 215-839-8246. I want to get your thoughts on this one because to me, this was such a gutless, pathetic, heartless game that I just watched. And it's so bad, man. It's so bad. 14 penalties. 14 penalties tonight. It goes way deeper. Brandon Graham, we had that one interception where they smothered Dak. We got the interception with the defensive lineman. Then that one gets called back because Brandon Graham decides to go walk onto the field like a freaking idiot. It goes so deeper on so many different levels. You got screwed by the fact Blankenship got injured, Jomo got injured, Nakobe Dean dropped an interception, Zach Bourne dropped an interception. You had 14 penalties, PI the whole entire game. It's just so disgusting. It's so disgusting. Brandon Graham walking onto the field, can't tackle. And by all means, I'm not going to sit here and attack this defense because to me, I thought the defense did basically do. You know, they didn't do a great job by all means. I mean, they didn't do the best of jobs. But I mean, it's hard to do a good job when you're on the field for 95% of the second half because your offense can't score. Your offense can't score. You're up 21-zip, 21-7 coming out of halftime, and you can't score. 215-839-8246. Let's get today's show started with Alex in Nebraska. What's going on, Alex?
It could be a lot better.
Oh, I'm disgusted.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you want to blame the offense or defense, it comes down to coaching, especially our head coach. He's got to remember, he's been to the Super Bowl 2 times. He's won a Super Bowl. We should win the division this year. He won it last year. However many times Sirianni has won it, three or 4 times he's won it.
Yeah, I mean,
it comes down to him. It comes down to him. He has to hold our players accountable. He has to hold our coaches accountable. I mean, you look at the Lions, right?
Yep.
Lions have been, their Lions are a great team, but they've been struggling recently. You know what they did? They let play calling to Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
I mean, our play calling can't get any worse with Nick Sirianni.
I agree with you.
Nick Sirianni, by all means, isn't a great coordinator, but it's not going to get worse if we give it to Sirianni instead of Kevin Patullo.
Well, that's a problem that I think a lot of people aren't talking about at this point, and that's an issue to me. We've seen how big Kevin Patullo has been. We've seen we can't run the ball, we can't pass the ball, we can't block, we can't do anything right offensively. We can't put teams away, and for weeks now, we've known that Kevin Patullo is an absolute freaking disaster. Why is it, in all honesty, why are we not switching and saying, hey, let's go and let's get Sirianni to take over play calling. Let's see what Sirianni brings to the table. We've seen, I mean, dude, they block Sirianni from offensive play call meetings. Sirianni has zip to do with this. So that tells me he has not a clue what he's doing. But it's like, dude, Kevin Patullo is ruining this offense, and our head coach, who's supposed to be this genius offensively, isn't getting an opportunity to call plays, and that, to me, is a flashing red light. That is a red flag to me, that you're not giving your guy, your head coach, who's supposed to be a friggin' mastermind offensively, or, at least be a smart offensive guy, and you're not giving him an opportunity to call any plays. That's flashing red lights at me. At the end of the game, he's horrible game manager. He makes horrible in-game decisions. The only thing he does right is yell at the referees. And half the time, that's not even at the right time to do it. Not even the right place to do it. The only thing he does right is yell at the refs, man. But he's pissed poor too, and a lot of the issues with this team go to him.
Yeah, I got 2 more things I want to say. Saquon, 10 carries for 22 rushes, obviously not good. But you cannot abandon the run game. It's not like Saquon got, bunch of carries here, 5 carries in a row, whatever. It wasn't cohesive. Our run game wasn't fluent with our pass game. It just wasn't fluent. They knew we were going to pass it. They knew we weren't going to run. I mean, you look at what formation we're in, and you already know what's coming. And, you're not even, you don't play football. We don't know the schemes, and we know what's coming. And it's week after week. It's so predictable. And last but not least, you win and lose games in trenches. The second half, our offensive line was abysmal. Our defensive line was abysmal.
Well,
don't get me wrong.
I agree with you. I think our offensive line's been horrible all year, but I'm not going to attack our defensive line. And even though they weren't great in the second half, they lost to Jomo, and they were on the field for 95% of the time anyway. Because
I agree. Yeah, it's tough on the defense when the offense goes consistently 3 and out. But at the end of the day, once again, it comes down to adjustments. We made no adjustments. Dallas obviously made adjustments if they're going to score 24 unanswered points on us.
No, they're bad.
It just comes down. It comes down to coaches, and there's no reason our offense, with all the playmakers we have on it, is as bad as we are.
No, I agree with you. And Alex, thank you for the phone call. Go ahead. Let you finish that. Go ahead.
Oh, one last thing. Going into today, we were ranked the 28th ranked offense on third downs. That's all you got to see. This offense is abysmal.
Well, because we run the football on third down. Thank you, Alex, for the phone call. 215-839-8246. Want to hear your thoughts on this game. I for all the people that are optimistic out there and think this team's good, you know what I mean? Think this team's good, looking at the bright side of things. How are you positive after tonight? For all the optimistic guys out there, everybody who's excited, what are you going to do? I mean, are you going to finally take a look in the mirror? Are you finally going to look at this team and say, yeah, they blow? Or are you finally going to say, yeah, this team has to be flat out better? Because I'll tell you what, man, I don't understand how anybody, after the past couple weeks, and specifically tonight, when you are up 21-zip, 21-7 coming out of halftime with the football, and you can't score once, I don't know how you can tell me that everything's all great, man. You know what I mean? Oh, there's no problems. We're going to get over it. Just a bump in the road. How do you tell me that? How do you tell me that that everything's fine? Everything is not fine. The Eagles had a pure opportunity to sit there and show all that smack talk and animosity and adversity that we've been talking about for weeks now at Sports Talk Media, and throw it all away, and they didn't. And and that to me is an absolute friggin' disaster. There's a serious problem when it comes to this football team. An absolute real problem, man. Devin, what's
up, sir? How you doing?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Good. All right, I'm gonna just come off here and be straight honest, man. I'm a Cowboys fan, man. What happened today, man?
They're bad, dude. I tell you what, coming into the game, I said that this was going to be a trap game. You go back and watch my preview show and my clips. I said this is a trap game. But the Eagles had no business losing this game, man. And that's in all honesty.
Hey, come on, week one was a close game. I knew this was coming. This win was coming. Week one, we seen how week one ended up, man. This win was guaranteed to happen. Saquon wasn't playing there. George Pickens was doing his thing. Come on. Give us our props. We're still a playoff team.
No, I mean, I gave you guys credit, man, but I also have to look at the fact that the Eagles blew a 21-0 lead. It wasn't like the entire –
I know, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like it was –
against one of the worst defenses in the league. I'll admit, our defense is horrible.
No, and I agree with that. But, I mean, and I give the Cowboys props, man, because when you were down 21-0, I was like, okay, we're just going to kill them now. They're done. Dak's rattled, the whole nine. You guys didn't stop fighting, so I give you guys props. But I have to look deeper than just the Cowboys, man. I look at the Eagles.
14 penalties that killed you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you blow a 21-0 lead, then you blow a 21-7 lead with the football at halftime, and then you have 14 penalties. You had an interception that was taken back because Brandon Graham decided to walk onto the field. Zach Bourne dropped an interception. Nakobe Dean dropped an interception. Saquon fumbled, without this pass game, and I thought the pass game did what they had to do. Our offensive line didn't hold up. They collapsed every single play. There was no run. You knew what was coming because the only thing the Eagles were capable of doing tonight was passing the football. So I give the Cowboys credit, man. They didn't give up. But this loss and this win for you guys, to me, falls on the Eagles' shoulders just for being flat out piss poor.
Sirianni, play calling wasn't great today. Kevin Patullo needs to be terminated publicly.
I mean, dude, I tell you what, Sirianni, there needs to be some serious questions about Sirianni that have to be answered because
Do you still think the Eagles are Super Bowl contenders or not?
If this is what it has, no, listen.
Okay.
If this is what it takes to beat the Eagles with 14 penalties, getting 2 picks potentially off the board because, like you said, Brandon Graham was running off the field and Zach Bond doesn't know how to catch a fucking football, and we get 2 fumbles. I don't know what our punt returner Xavier Gibson was doing, catching the ball at the 1-yard line and then fumbling. I mean, it's just basic football knowledge. But if this is what it takes to beat the Eagles, good luck in January. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, I mean,
Bob?
I agree with you, man. I appreciate the phone call, bro.
It didn't take the Giants lot to beat the Eagles, though.
No, I mean, look, dude, like the Eagles to me are still a quote unquote Super Bowl contender because I think our defense is great. And I know your rebuttal is going to be, well, you let us come back. But you also have to look at the fact that the defense was on the field for 95% of the game, the second half, because the offense just continuously kept giving the football back to you guys. So, I mean, they were tired. But I think the Eagles are still Super Bowl contenders, but I just don't know, man.
Nah, your defense is there. Your defense is there. I'll give it to you.
No, our
TV couldn't
defense
do
is
nothing
great.
today.
And I'm telling you this,
TV
man. You guys came back, but you also have to remember the Eagles' defense was on the field for 95% of the second half because
Whose house?
Anything.
Rams house.
Thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. 215-839-8246. That is the number to get in. I'm frustrated. I'm pissed. I'm angry. I can't understand the loss. I can't understand what in the hell is happening in Philadelphia right now. Let's read some comments here on YouTube. You guys can call into the show. Want to hear your thoughts. 215-839-8246. That is the number to get in. You guys could also leave a comment right here on YouTube. Want to get your thoughts here on YouTube. Let's read one. That's me. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Helps me out. Gets more people to the show. Gets more callers. Gets more, it helps me out the algorithm. Really helps you out for Eagles post games, guys. Please like and comment and subscribe, please. Kevin Patullo is effing up. He even got to tell me he's been effing up all year. All year he's been effing up. Sorry for the language, but we need to move the ball better, and our offensive line needs to play better. Well, we can't move the football better when our offensive line can't block. We can't pass the football downfield when our offensive line collapses every single time. We can't run the football, because Saquon Barkley, and nobody can tell me otherwise. There has to be an underlying injury with Saquon Barkley somewhere that we don't know about. That's just the bottom line to me. Right? Like I look at this and I say, well, Saquon Barkley has shown flashes of being himself, right? Whatever the case is. Shown flashes. But man, you can't tell me Saquon Barkley's not injured or something. Because whatever the case is, this isn't right. Fire Kevin immediately. We look like a pee-wee football offense. It's predictable. Can't block, can't run, can't pass, can't do anything right out there. Just such a pathetic offense. Been telling people this ain't going to work. This all falls back on the Sirianni. There's no reason you hire a first-year play caller for a Super Bowl contender. Just embarrassing. They learned nothing from 23. Now, I agree. Hey, Tyler, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. I think they gave way too much trust in the Sirianni. I do. Because to me, right, you lose Kellen Moore, which I guess is inevitable, right? He's Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator, great guy. Whatever the case is, so I look at that and I say, well, it was inevitable that Kellen Moore is gone. And you had many opportunities to bring in somebody else, man. Bring in somebody else that can figure this out. And even if you are going to go with Patullo, which at the time I was skeptical about, but I was like, you know what? He sat behind Shane Steichen. He sat behind Kellen Moore. This guy should know a little bit about what he's doing. He should at least have an idea. And for the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, 3, 4, 5 weeks of the season, everybody's telling me, don't be worried about Patullo. He's just figuring it out. Give him some time. Give him a little bit to figure out what he's got to do because he's a first-time play caller. And because I was one of the people right away saying this isn't going to work. Kevin Patullo blows. Kevin Patullo isn't good enough. I've been saying that since the jump. And people were yelling at me, telling me I'm an idiot because I say Kevin Patullo blows. They say, oh, well, the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, got to give him some time because he's growing into the role. He's trying to figure things out, trying to understand his personnel. First-time play caller. I say, whatever, fine, whatever. But we are now what? Week 10, week 11? I don't even know what this is. Week 10, week 11? And we still cannot figure out what is wrong with our offense. We are 11 weeks into the season, and our offense, and I'm still being told our offensive coordinator needs time to figure out what to do. I'm still being told our offensive coordinator is still learning his personnel, still learning how to call plays and scheme guys open. I'm being told that. We are weeks into the season now. We are now 8-3. And I'm still being told, well, you got to give our offensive coordinator some more time. No! There's no more time to give! There is no more time to give for Kevin Patullo. None! It's over. It's over. It's over. The Kevin Patullo experiment for me is over. I don't know what you got to do. You got to fire him. There is a serious underlying issue. And here's another thing that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. What's up with Sirianni? You know, because when your offensive coordinator is this bad, a lot of teams fall back to their head coach. Right? Lions fell back to their head coach. Dan Campbell now calls plays. Dan Campbell calls plays for the offense because their offensive coordinator blows. They made the switch. So why is it that we can't make the switch? Because don't get me wrong. When we brought in Nick Sirianni, we were all told, hey, you know, Nick Sirianni is he's an offensive guy. He understands offense. He's an offensive mastermind. You know, he say, you know, that's the big thing. When we brought in Sirianni and he's talking about sunflowers and watering flowers and, you know, at his stupid ass press conference he had, I'm being told, hey, you know, Nick Sirianni's an offensive mastermind. Sat behind Reich and Andy Reid and, you know, the whole nine. That's what I'm told. Now we're 11 weeks into the season. And my head coach still can't take over play calling because he has no idea. If that's not a glaring hole to you guys, if that is not a red flag to you guys, I don't know what is, man. Our head coach that we brought in, that is a Super Bowl winning head coach that we've been told is a mastermind, you know, offensive guy. Worked with Shane Steichen, worked with Kevin Moore. Why is it that we can't go to him and to call plays? Why is it that he can't sit in the offensive meetings anymore? Why? There's an underlying issue there with Nick Sirianni too, because he plays a big role in this. Rinsler here says, worst reigning champs of all time for real. I don't know how you do that in the second half. Too much talent. And here's something. You know, the Eagles are so bad. They're so bad, poorly coached, and they're act like. And I'm trying to make sense with this statement, so just like bear with me here. But the Eagles have so much talent on this team and are so poorly coached. But it's because they have so much talent. It's so hard for them to lose, right? Like it's so hard for the Eagles to lose. Even with the poor coaching and the penalties and whatever the case is, because they have so much talent on this team. That's that is, to me, you know, a big thing here. They're Super Bowl contenders because the NFC is a joke. They missed the playoffs in the AFC. I don't know, man. You know, I think for me, like, I can't look ahead to should be in Super Bowl contenders or not, man. I can't look at ahead at any of this shit, man. I'm embarrassed. I'm pissed. I'm frustrated. I can't. Hold on. I need some water, dude. I've been screaming too much. I don't know how you can look ahead to being Super Bowl contenders and talking about the Super Bowl when you just got embarrassed and played some of the most pathetic football ever. And the second half, you blew a 21-0 lead, a 21-7 lead as well, with the ball coming out of half. And you lost. And we're talking about, are they still Super Bowl champions or not? And I'm sure they are. But I just can't talk about that right now because what I saw out there on that field is not Super Bowl worthy, bottom line. This is the single worst season game I've ever watched. Absolute disgrace to everyone's eyes. You don't got to tell me, man. I mean, I've seen a lot of big games. I've seen a lot of pathetic games. Don't get me started with the Phillies, right? Like, I've seen some pathetic shit out there. I've seen some pathetic play. Some heartless, gutless, pathetic play. But this goes down as a bad one, man. Because just like all the drama and animosity and adversity this team's been facing over the past couple of weeks, with the A.J. Brown situation, with the Jalen situation, with all of this stuff, and this was their opportunity to say, hey, we're going to beat up on a division rival who's fighting for a postseason spot. We're going to put these cats away. We're going to kill these guys now. This was their opportunity to show the world, show me, show everybody, show the sports talk world, hey, we're going to do this. This was their opportunity to do it, and they squandered the opportunity. How do you start off so hot and then bury your head in the sand and think everything's going to work out? And that's what I say to the people out there that are, still Mr. Positive, still excited, still optimistic, man. I don't know how you could possibly be optimistic for such a pathetic game like that. They're stacking the box every play. So they're stacking the box every play, and they still just run right into it. Watching the all 22 footage, and it genuinely looks like a high school level offensive scheme. Hey, man, I agree with you, man. I do. I mean, I know a lot of football. I mean, I never played football, right? But I know a lot of football. But I'm being honest with you. Anybody with a brain, anybody who watches just football in general, when you see guys stacking the box and this team just day in, day out runs right into it. I don't know, man. They just run right into it. And when they don't, the offensive line collapses because they're just not good enough, and Jalen gets swamped and has to make a bad decision. Didn't, throw a pick or whatever. But I'm just simply stating, your offensive line's a serious issue, and that can't get overlooked to me. Shouldn't be hiring someone who has to grow into the role when you're trying to go back-to-back for Super Bowls. I agree with you. Here's a question. Let's say, Patullo's fired during the offseason, or let's say somehow, some way we figure this out and we go win another Super Bowl, right? Let's just hypothetical. We figure everything out and we go win another Super Bowl, right? Let's say that's what we do. And Patullo gets hired somewhere else. He does something somewhere else, right? Like he's gone, right? Let's just say he goes. And we bring somebody else in, whether it's like another Kellen Moore, like a Frank Reich. Like, let's say we bring a Frank Reich into the team and we win another Super Bowl, right? Let's say we win a Super Bowl. Patullo is gone no matter what. Frank Reich or somebody else, an offensive guy comes in. We win the Super Bowl. Do people finally say, let's get rid of Nick Sirianni? Because if we bring a Frank Reich or somebody else in and we win the Super Bowl, Frank Reich or whoever it is, like another Kellen Moore, is going to say, hey, I'm going to go take this head coaching job because that's what I want to do. Well, do we look at that situation and we say, hey, you know what? When we're tired of letting good offensive coordinators leave this town, leave this organization, and we get stuck with in-house guys who are stiffs, do we just ultimately want to get rid of Nick Sirianni and keep the offensive coordinator. Because a lot of this can be solved with a head coach that calls offensive plays. Well, he can't call offensive plays because he's an idiot. That's a bottom line. He's a friggin' idiot. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? It's so bad. It's so bad. It is just pathetic. Another one here. Also, 15 penalties, 100 yards. How do you do that? Such a lack of discipline from this team. Now, this team's piss poor. I mean, and it's not just tonight. It has never just been tonight. It has been consistently all year. All year they've gotten killed with penalties, with free yards. They've gotten killed every step of the way with penalties. That's the bottom. That is an all-time bottom line. They get killed with penalties, and tonight, I mean, it was on full display. And by all means, I understand that, and I agree that a lot of the calls from the referees were bullshit, were not real calls. They shouldn't have been flagged, right? And I get that, but you have to look at this. I mean, the Fred Johnson play, illegal hands in the face. That's such a stupid mistake and a costly mistake. You look at all that. You look at the PI penalties going downfield with the CeeDee Lamb and the Pickens play and all this stuff. And it's like you can't – they're so undisciplined. They are so undisciplined. It's so bad, man. What is up with the offensive coordinator? He may be drunk on the sideline. Dude, I don't know. He's an idiot. I've given him way too many opportunities, for him not to be able to figure this out anymore, man. Way too many penalties. Second half Eagles came out flat. Well, this is the Eagles we're used to now. This is the Eagles we're used to. One good half, one bad half. This is the Eagles that we are accustomed to. It's the bottom line. This is the Eagles we are accustomed to, ladies and gentlemen. Pathetic. Inconsistent. Can't run, can't pass, can't block. And your defense bails you out. But like tonight, your defense can't bail you out when they're on the field the entire second half because your offense, it blows. What do you want to do? To me, it's like, what are you going to do? And I said this during the preview show. I've been saying this for weeks now. What are you going to do when your defense cannot be perfect and your offense has to do their job? Their offense doesn't do their job, and you saw it on absolutely full display tonight. One more comment before we go to another caller. Also, if Sirianni can't call plays and his only job is managing the game and locker room job, how is it acceptable for all the drama coming out and the lack of discipline? I agree. I think Sirianni blows. Sirianni's a horrible game manager. He can't call plays, and he can't keep a locker room together. Too much drama. 215-839-8246. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Luca in South Jersey. What's going on, Luca?
Heartless, pathetic football team. That's what I have to say for tonight.
I agree with you. I think it's just piss poor. They're heartless, they're gutless, they're pathetic. And 14 penalties. You're up 20-0, 21-7. Coming out of halftime, you have the football and you can't score. And I know people are going to attack the defense all night, all week. Your defense didn't get a stop. Well, they did. They got plenty of stops. How about that? How about
stops?
How about the Cowboys when the Cowboys were in the red zone, basically on the goal line, and the defense stopped them? How about that one? This loss, and I understand the defense wasn't perfect in the second half, but let's not blame this on the defense. Your defense tonight was almost perfect. They were very good, and once again, but great. But how can you blame this on them when they were on the field for 95% of the second half?
How about when your offense keeps going 3 and out every fucking drive?
No, I mean it's every drive. It's nonstop. And how am I supposed to look at this and be positive? For all the optimistic people out there that call into my show and leave comments, oh, you're nuts, you're an idiot. Who is right? Who's been right all along? Kevin Petullo was the wrong hire.
He was terrible. I said that never once in my life, Broadstreet, would I ever think that I would miss Brian Johnson. Ever.
No. Brian Johnson was look, and I'm not trying to defend Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson was a whole nother separate issue in himself, but he was not seriously the problem. There was a lot of drama that year also. No. Let's not forget, a lot of drama that year also between Jalen again and AJ. And that defense that year was one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my lifetime.
There was a lot of problems that year. I know Brian Johnson was a literal scapegoat, but Kevin Petullo, there's no creativity. I think he's the worst offensive coordinator the Eagles have had since probably Marty Morningweg back in the Andy Reid era. Oh, and that's saying something.
Yeah, no, they're bad. They're bad, and it's crazy to me because with a team with Super Bowl aspirations, trying to go back to back, trying to be the top dog again, and we're having the same conversations every year, every time, and it's the same thing. It's the same drama. It's the same conversations. It's the same adversity. It's the same. Just everything. Everything is consistently the same.
When are we going to get this offense? Like, Fred Johnson was fucking atrocious tonight.
He was.
Did you watch him at right tackle?
No, yeah. Look, are you talking about Fred Johnson?
Into the ground.
You're talking about Fred Johnson?
Fred Johnson, he got mauled into the ground.
Yeah. No, he did. No, Fred Johnson was not good tonight. And another point from Fred Johnson that pissed me off was that pointless illegal hands in the face maneuver that he had. That was stupid. You're trying to charge down the field, and his dumbass got the illegal hands in the face. That hurt the Eagles big time.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
I'm not in the Eagles meetings.
Yep.
I don't know their schemes, but I can tell every time they're running the ball or they're throwing the ball. It's so simple, and it's so fucking predictable every time.
It is.
They either run it or they're throwing it.
No.
I can tell, and I'm a college football player, but I can still tell. But I'm not in their meetings. I don't know their schemes.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man, 100%. And Luke, thank you for the phone. 215-839-8246. That's the number to get in. Just saw somebody call into the show, accidentally hang up. My apologies. Please call back into the show. 215-839-8246. The offense is predictable. I mean, what are you going to do? We've been saying this for weeks, though. Your offense is horrendous. Horrendous. Let's read a couple more comments. Peyton Klein here says, what's your thoughts on A.J. Brown's game tonight? I mean, I thought A.J. Brown was a star player tonight. A.J. Brown was a difference maker that we know he can be and has been for this football team. He's been a major player on this team for years now. And when you give him the football, legitimately give him the football, not like try and spoon feed him the football, but when you actually try and give him the football, when he deserves it and when he's open, he's going to do big things, and he did that tonight. He really, really did. One more comment here. What do you think Howie's next move is? I don't know, because free agency's oh my God, the trade deadline's over, the whole nine, so it doesn't matter at this point. The team that they have at this point is what they're running back with, and this team isn't bad. It really just falls on the coaching. They have a bad offensive line problem. They're never healthy. Lane Johnson, even when he is healthy, hasn't been 100% this year. Landon Dickerson is 100%. Cam Jurgens is 100%. Mailata has not been really good this year. Prior when he's in the game blows. Fred Johnson tonight stunk. So we could talk about a lot of different issues. Let's go back to the phone line. What's going on, man? State your name and where you're from.
Hey, how you doing? My name's Ryan Lawler. I'm from Dallas, Texas. First-time caller, long-time listener. I just want to ask, how do you feel that last year the Eagles go to the Super Bowl and then this year they lose their offensive coordinator and look like the worst offense in the league? Thoughts?
It falls on Nick Sirianni. It falls on Kevin Petullo. It falls on the management. You gave an opportunity to a Super Bowl contender.
I think it falls on Big Dom. Why did Big Dom go to the hospital when Cam Scotty got hurt with cheesesteaks? Do you think you should be a little more focused on the team instead of giving cheesesteaks to a player from an opposing team?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it goes. There's a lot of different issues on the team, and bro, thanks for the phone call. There's a lot of different issues with this football team. A lot of different issues. I'm not going to sit here and tell you Big Dom's an issue. Come on. There's bigger issues. Saquon Barkley isn't the same player that he has been. Jalen Hurts hasn't been perfect this year. There's too much drama. Patullo blows. Sirianni blows. The only stable one in that organization's Vic Fangio. The only one and that only stable one in that organization is Vic Fangio. And but people out there are they're all I'm excited for this team. You got to hold out hope for this team. I don't know what kind of hope you have to have for this team. I don't know what kind of a nut job you got to be to believe in that this football team still has chances, man. We either stay like this for the remainder of the season on our wild card exits, or we learn off this and pick it up big time, zero in between. I don't know. I saw something out there on Twitter a little bit ago, like a couple days ago, and it said maybe the Eagles are, playing bad right now because they're trying to save it for the postseason. I don't see it, man. I think this offense is just bad, and I think this organization made the absolute wrong decision going with Kevin Patullo as the offensive coordinator. Just absolutely piss poor. But we're running up against the break here, guys. We'll take more of your phone calls and comments here on Broad Street Sports Eagles post-game show right after the short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Eagles post-game show. If you're in South Philly and hungry, you need to check out Steak 'em Up on 11th and Shunk. They've got it all. Breakfast sandwiches, breakfast pizza, hoagies, classic cheesesteaks, fresh pizzas, and more. Everything's made and packed with flavor any time of the day. Stop by for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and see why locals keep coming back for more. Steak 'em Up, where South Philly comes to eat. Looking for a real Italian bite? Cafe Merlino at 6 Shoppers Lane in Turnersville, New Jersey has you covered. Fresh cutlet sandwiches, classic hoagies, and hearty pasta dishes, all made with care and the flavor you crave. Whether it's lunch or dinner or just a quick bite, every meal is packed with fresh ingredients and a bold taste. Stop by Cafe Merlino today and see why they're taking South Jersey and the Philly area by storm. Ride in style with Wagner Luxury Limo out of Swedesboro, New Jersey. Whether it's a ride to the game, an airport run, or a special night out, Wagner Luxury Limo gets you there safely and comfortably. Professional drivers, luxury vehicles, and a service you can count on. Book your ride today and arrive like a VIP. Visit online or call 856-481-8020. When it comes to tree work, Jason Pilla Tree Specialist in Galloway, New Jersey has you covered. From tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, they get the job done quickly, safely, and at a price you can trust. Keep your property looking at its best and protect your home with the pros at Jason Pilla Tree Specialist. Call today for your free estimate at 609-965-8003. That's 609-965-8003.
And make sure you tell them Broad Street Sports sent you.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the Broad Street Sports Eagles post-game show. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Only one thing can go right during an Eagles loss. That is, you come in to a Broad Street Sports Eagles post-game show hosted by your boy Ryan Knight and rant, be frustrated, be angry. Call into the show, 215-839-8246. Just a lot to look back on, man. There's so much frustration. There's so much confusion. There's so much anger. You can't, if you had 14 penalties tonight, you're up 21-0, then you're up 21-7 going into halftime, or coming out of halftime, and you have the football back. Look, so many different issues. You had many opportunities tonight, to get interceptions. Zach Bourne dropped an interception. Then you had the one interception. And you had the defensive line interception where Brandon Graham ran onto the field, or still on the field, whatever the case was with that situation. I still look the biggest, the most obvious, glaring issue is the offense, right? Like, we could talk all we want about, miscues here by the defense, a dropped interception here, whatever the case. We could talk about all of that. You know what I mean? We could talk about everything. But this loss and the topic of conversation continues to fall on on the offense. Your offense is a disaster. I mean, I didn't know, I knew this offense was bad, right? I knew it was bad, but I didn't know how bad this offense was going to get. And man, they've gotten bad. Like they've hit rock bottom. And it's bad. I'm not happy. You know what I mean? And I've been saying that all along, that this offense is not good and it's annoying and it's conservative and it's, the whole nine. I get it. But they may have hit a new rock bottom that I did not know that they were going to get to. Because this is horrible. To me, man, I don't know where you go from here. I mean, I don't know where you go from here because you can't run, you can't pass, you can't block, you can't do anything. Just so bad, man. Just so you can't. And Kevin Patullo's a disaster. And and in all seriousness, I would love to know what Nick Sirianni's role in all of this is. Why are we not giving him an opportunity to call plays? I'm calling for that. We need to give Nick Sirianni an opportunity to call plays. And if they're not going to try and give him an opportunity to call any plays, if they're not going to give him an opportunity, then there's an underlying issue. There is a red flag when it comes in to when it comes to him as a coach, as a coordinator, because I was told when he came in and after that press conference where he's talking about watering flowers and and people got to grow up planting seeds and everything else, and I'm being told, well, he's an offensive guy. He understands things offensively. He has brain cells. And by the way, I've given Nick Sirianni a lot of benefit of the doubt, though. A lot of benefit of the doubt throughout the season, throughout everything. I've given him the benefit of the doubt. But you really see how this team crumbles when there's no real offensive mind in the room, right? Your real offensive mind is in the room is Patullo with Sirianni, and Sirianni's quote unquote not even allowed in the offensive meetings. So really, who is the offensive mastermind? That's why AJ's frustrated. That's why Jalen's frustrated. That's why multiple people are frustrated because there's no legitimate, there's no legitimate offensive mind in the room. There's no legitimate offensive mind. How are you supposed to win? How are you supposed to be positive when there's just zip? There is zero. There is zero to be positive about. You're 8-3, and honestly, man, I could honestly look back at multiple games this year where they should have lost. Let's go back to the phone line. Let's go to Peyton in South Jersey. What's going on, Peyton?
Yo.
What's up, pal?
Yo, I'm fired up, bro. This game is awful.
No, they're bad, man. They're bad. What frustrates you the most?
The team has no heart. The offensive coordinator needs to be fired tomorrow. If he's not, there's serious problems.
Well,
I think I could go out there and be the offensive coordinator. I could read every single play that they call.
No, I mean I agree with you, man. I mean
it's like a high school coach out there.
Well,
he's playing pee-wee football.
I think I could go out there with a Madden playbook and do a much better bang up job because this was bad. I mean, this was in all different scenarios bad. And for all the people out there that are still positive and that were positive and optimistic, I don't know how you can still be positive and optimistic after this game, right? Like there is just nothing to be optimistic about. Your defense is great, which is a positive for sure, but you're not going to be able to win another Super Bowl or even go deep in the postseason if your offense is just going to continuously no-show. They thought 21 points was enough to beat the Dallas Cowboys. And, and maybe it should have been, right? Maybe it should have been, but I'm not blaming this at all on this defense.
No, the team looked great. Honestly, the team looked great. that falls on the coaching staff 10 out of 10 times.
No, I agree. I think people and I know for a fact people are going to slide into my DMs and slide on in the comments and call in and whatever the case is and say, "Oh, your defense supposed to do a game tonight," and the fact is, no, they didn't. I understand that things weren't really perfect at the end. I mean, they lost to Jomo, they lost Blankenship. They had Sidney Brown out there. It was not good. And so I understand all that, and you have to remember your offense was so piss poor and so bad that that your defense was out there on the field for 95% of the game, for 95% of the second half. They're exhausted. I don't know what you want them to do. And I look back at that big fourth down stop they had in the red zone when Dallas was in the red zone. They had that big fourth down stop. This isn't on defense. This is on incompetent coaching. Undisciplined football with 14 penalties. There is a lot of different issues on this team, man.
So they give A.J. Brown the ball all first half. He looked great. We were moving up and down the field. And then they come out second half, and they decide to change the game plan and run the ball into the line.
Well, because they're idiots.
And then they figure out to give it back to him in the fourth quarter. Well, I don't know what the fuck's going on with that guy.
I don't know.
He's drunk.
No, yeah, I mean, and I've been saying this all show, and I understood A.J. Brown's frustration from the get-go. A.J. Brown, I understood his frustration, whatever the case is. He's a difference maker, man. He's a real superstar. And let's not forget that A.J. Brown's a real superstar. And he might and they gave him the ball big time in the first half. And that was great to see. They gave him the football in the first half. And whatever the case is there. But I look at all that and I say, hey, I look. You didn't pass him the football at all. Then the rest of the second half, in the first, second and third quarter. Peyton, thank you for the phone call. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go to the next caller. What's going on, man? State your name and where you're from.
This is the commish.
Oh, what's going on, commish?
What's happening?
I've been going on for an hour now. I can't get it through my head. I'm crushed. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on.
We called it Friday. This was their chance. They came out the first 10 minutes, looked like they were going to blow them out of the water. And then it's like they didn't have any other plays called the rest of the game. It's like the first 10 plays were scripted. They got the ball just like we said to A.J. Brown. They made him happy. How can Barkley wind up with 10 carries?
I'm going to go back and look at this. But, they shouldn't even have ran the football at him at all. He couldn't get anything going. So Barkley had 10 carries for 22 rushing yards. Well, let me just
how many receptions?
So he had 10 carries, 22 rushing yards. Trying to look for receptions here. 7 catches, 52 receiving yards.
Right. And I bet you out of them 7 catches, 4 were in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Because they came out and they swung the ball wide a little bit. Their game plan looked good. And then I don't know what happened. They just imploded.
No, they did. They gave up, and I remember telling you this, Dave, and I said this is make or break. This is your season kind of looming, and not that the Eagles' season was looming necessarily in this game, but people's opinions, the way people thought about you was looming in this football game, and that's just the bottom line when it comes to it. And I told you, man, I said, the defense is going to get to a point where they're going to have a bad little stretch, and they're going to give up points, whether it's on them or not. They're going to give up points. And your offense is so bad that they are not going to be able to win you a game when your defense can't be perfect.
On your show Friday, I said close game, Cowboys in the under, which hit, by the way, if anybody's paying attention. I said that it was a make or break game for the Eagles, and I was getting the Texas coming in after at a 21-0 thing. This is a blowout. This game's over. Blah 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 blah. And then it was like, and listen, we said it. The Cowboys are going to find a way to score eventually. They're too good of a team. They actually should have put up more points. They left 10 on the board with a missed field goal and a pick in the end zone. But I don't get it. And I mean, this has to be the wake up call for the Eagles. It has to be.
Well,
And
it has to be.
that-
And I've been saying this all
that's
show
why-
as well. I've been saying for all the people that are in my DMs, in my comments, going into my show saying, oh, you're nuts. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You got to give this team some time. I'm holding out hope, but I got optimism. This is a good team. Yeah, they're a good team on paper, but I don't know how for all the optimistic and happy and excited people out there that they can look at this game and say, yeah, you know what? I'm still excited. I still think this is a great football team, and this offense is going to figure it out. And maybe they will, but I actually have no hope right now. I think this team is just dead in the water.
Before I leave you here, and we'll turn the page now to Black Friday. How big is this game now?
Oh,
now
I think it's huge.
This is a huge game. You're running out of weeks.
I think this game is magnified times 10. It's at home. It's basically a primetime game because it's Black Friday. Everybody's going to be watching. It's at home. It's versus the playoff contender. The Lions beat the Steelers. The Bears beat the Steelers today. So they're 8-3. So they're ready to go. We're the same record. We're the same record with the Bears right now, and the Bears have offensive hope, and the Eagles have offensive dead. Like they're just dead offensively.
Yeah.
I have.
This Ram.
I honestly got to tell you, man, I think this game after tonight, the Black Friday game versus the Bears, has been magnified times 10.
Yeah, 100%. I'm watching this Rams game right now, and I'll tell you what, they're putting it to Tampa Bay right now, 14 zip quick.
Well, the Rams are very good, and Tampa Bay's good, but they're not. They're a weird team. Like they're a good team, but they're a weird team. They lose some weird games, but I tell you what, I think the Rams are really the best team in the NFC. The Eagles have a great defense, and Eagles have an opportunity. On paper, I think they're the best team in the NFC, but they're just not playing up to their top of the NFC, and Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah,
hype, and that's it.
No, I agree with you. And listen, have a good night, and I'll see you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon for English Corner. Thanks, Dave. So we're going to wrap today's show up, everybody. Read 2 more comments here on YouTube. Out of all the issues this year, it truly all falls back on Kevin Osama bin Laden Patullo. Serious decisions need to be made this offseason by Howie. Well, no matter what, I think Patullo's gone. There's such issues, man. And you know what? We're going to actually spend all week talking about this. We're going to spend all week breaking this game down and breaking everything down. You know what I mean? That's just the bottom line. Eagles game 11-28. The hell just happened? Just kicked me out of my own show? That just kicked me. Am I back out on the screen? Yeah, they just kicked me out of my own show. How the hell does that even happen? Bears are garbage. I don't know, man. I said the Cowboys were garbage. I'm lost. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. There's a long week ahead, and then you got the short week with the Bears, and we're going to spend all week, for at least Monday and Tuesday and probably Wednesday talking about this game and what went wrong. I mean, this is a disaster. And, we're going to have to talk through all that. And then we got to talk about the Bears. There's a lot to get into, man. I mean, you have 14 penalties today, illegal hands in the face. You couldn't put them away up by 21 and then up by 14, dropped interceptions. You're undisciplined. You can't run. You can't pass. You can't block. You can't do anything right. He should be fired. There to me is major issues on this team. There's major flaws, and there's been major flaws. And to me, I don't know where this team goes from here, because without major changes to be had, right? Like without major changes, this team is not going to be where we all expected them to be, where we all wanted them to be. This is disgusting. This is one of those games where you look at it and you say, this was flat out disturbing. This was flat out absolutely disgusting. But thank you guys all for tuning in to the Broad Street Sports Eagles postgame show. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe and comment. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you guys all very, very soon. ready to run through a wall.
We're going to run some clock, or maybe some.
This team is destined